welcome to the show. If this is your first time, don't worry, I'll be gentle. Oops. Anyway, today's one of those videos where I talk about a niche trilogy. That's right, I'm looking at... Pac-Man World. I got you, even though you saw the title before clicking on the video, so you look like an even bigger idiot if you thought I was going to talk about Spyro. To be perfectly honest though, I was going to cover that trilogy to kick off Season 4, but because I don't physically own any of those games, and because I don't want to replace it with the reignited versions, I figured we could take a look at another trilogy, one that gets overlooked. Don't worry, I'll get to Spyro eventually, just not now. The big yellow dot muncher Pac-Man had a trilogy of platformers, and I've been wanting to talk about them for a while. So, let's do that. Kicking things off with Pac-Man World. Pac-Man World was published and developed by Namco. The platformer was released on October 15, 1999 for the PlayStation and Game Boy Advance, sandwiched in there between CTR and Spyro 2. The GBA version was released in 2004 and handled by Full Fat, who also ported Billy and Mandy to the system, which means poorly compressed console music. Pure bliss. Now, don't get mad, but I wasn't able to record footage for Pac-Man World on my PC. I tried 2 recordings and the first one turned out fine, but the second one gave up on the first boss, so I will be borrowing a lawn play video from this YouTube channel. The link to the original upload will be in the description. Rest assured, however, I have played through and beaten the game any %, so I'm not entirely clueless. Anyway, on with the review. The story sees all of Pac-Man's friends coming together for his 20th birthday, but they all get captured by the ghosts. When Pac-Man comes home, he finds that everybody is missing, and he reads an invitation for a party on Ghost Island. This ghost finds out Pac-Man is coming and warns the game's antagonist Toc-Man about his arrival. Toc-Man's plan is set into motion, and it's up to Pac-Man to find and rescue his friends. You're immediately thrown into the game with all of Pac-Man's moves at your disposal. You don't have to find tedious collectibles or take your clothes off or anything like that. No, Pac-Man has all of his abilities ready to go. Pac-Man can jump, butt bounce, rev roll, and throw Pac dots. By holding square, you can rev roll, and if you hold circle, you can charge up your Pac dot throw. It's more effective, but it takes 10 dots. The controls are actually really good. Every movement is precise, and I rarely find myself dying due to poor control. One minor gripe I have though is that sometimes when I jump, Pac-Man doesn't do anything. This isn't something that happens all the time, so I can give it a pass. It is the first game after all. Along the way, you can also collect power pellets and fruits. Some fruits are required to open certain doors that give you even more goodies. There are a total of 23 levels split into 6 areas. The second area is the only one to have 3 levels. The last level in every area is a boss. Every level is 2D side-scrolling mixed with 3D environments. We in the gaming industry like to call this 2.5D, a concept Namco is no stranger to. Hell, they made it a thing with Klonoa. Every area contains a key that allows you to free your friend at the end of the level before the boss. You rescue Puka, Chomp Chomp, Baby Pac, Junior Pac, Professor Pac, and Miss Pac. Every level has letters scattered about as well. Collecting all 6 spell out Pac-Man, and you can play a minigame at the end of the level. Here you can get more fruit and lives. In addition, you can also find a Galaxian, which can be used to open the door to the maze. Each maze follows the traditional Pac-Man formula of collecting every dot and pellet. The music for this game was composed by Tommy Tallarico, who did a phenomenal job. I love how he can take assets from the original Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man themes and remix them into different genres based on the locations. You go to beaches, catacombs, space, funhouses, factories, and haunted mansions. Now let's confront Toc-Man and put an end to his plans. His attack pattern is basic. Just dodges dot bullets and collect the dots from them. Use those dots to fire back at Toc-Man. Phase 2, there's buttons you have to butt bounce. They stun Pac-Man, then you butt bounce him. Be careful to stay in the air because he can butt bounce too. Phase 3. He'll occasionally butt bounce, then he'll rev roll. You can either rev into him or get out of his way and wait until he's tired. Do this 4 times and Pac-Man is defeated. We get one final cutscene showing that Pac-Man was being controlled by a ghost named Orson. He complains about nobody liking ghosts, and Pac-Man grabs a pellet and chomps him. You get no sympathy from the big yellow testicle. Anyway, that's the game.
But wait! There's more!
When you return to the main menu, you can replay the mazes you unlocked. You can also watch the credits and a bloopers FMV if you 100% the game. You know what else you can do? You can play the original Pac-Man! Yes! But other than that, that's really it.
The levels in this game are quite challenging, and there is a greater reward for if you rescue your friends. They help you out during the final fight against Pac-Man. So as the first installment in the Pac-Man World trilogy, and as the game that commemorated Pac-Man's 20th anniversary, this was a decent game.
Sure, it has its flaws, but it can still be fun to come back to and play. The platforming is good, the controls are solid, the music is beautiful, and the graphics look good too. For a first attempt at bringing Pac-Man to the platforming genre, this game holds up really well. Pac-Man World gets 5 out of 10. Now I know I said 5 out of 10, and I know I gave it praise, but that's because average games can be good. Wow, not bad for ad-libbing. Good job, me.
The first Pac-Man World showed some signs of potential, which for an anniversary game is a fine achievement. Anniversary games tend to fall flat on their face due to them just being half-assed cash grabs. So it's nice to see a decent anniversary game for a change. Eventually, the 6th generation of gaming rolled around, and Namco decided to give this game a sequel. Would it improve on the flaws, or would it become another Jak 2? Join me next time when we look at Pac-Man World 2.